last year, I led 8 letters to the IRS about a range of customer service issues impacting taxpayers. Just as the IRS expects taxpayers to file on time, taxpayers and tax professionals should be able to count on the IRS to answer the phone, respond to questions, and process refunds in a timely manner. And thanks to the resources provided by the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRS has hired 5,000 new customer service workers to help meet taxpayer needs. It's now consistently answering the phones, as I understand it, between 80 and 90% of the time at an average speed of 4 minutes compared to last year when the average level of phone service was 17% with a speed of answer rate of 27 minutes. So that's good, but there's still more work to be done. Currently, it takes approximately 20 weeks to amend paper and electronic returns. Commissioner, can we expect a more acceptable timeline for the IRS to process amended returns?
You should expect it, and we should be held accountable for it. I mentioned earlier, we have the ability post-filing season to redirect some of our staff to the paper backlog versus being on the phones because the call volume should go down. That will enable us to process more. We are scanning more paper forms. The more we scan, the easier it is to get them processed. It makes the process more fluid. And then there are longer-term solutions, whether it's hiring more people to help process these paper and amended returns, or building technology solutions to more automate it, because right now in most cases we can't accept an amended return electronically. This is why the Inflation Reduction Act is not just about managing the day-to-day. It wasn't supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be about modernizing, and I'm hoping we can preserve those funds in the Inflation Reduction Act.
So with all of that, what can we get this down to, and in what time frame do you think that?
Well, as an example, I mentioned that on the employee retention credit, I mentioned to Senator Warner, where we're trying to, we are at about resolving 20,000 a week right now, post-filing season. I'm asking the team to double that output and to focus on the oldest first, obviously, to make sure those that have been waiting the longest. But I appreciate the question. It is part of the challenges that we have in terms of this paper backlog, but we're making progress.
Well, correcting a small mistake shouldn't lead to a 5-month delay in receiving a refund. And so I'm proud of the progress you've made, but we need to do better. Let me ask you, with reference to a joint report from Stanford University and the Department of Treasury, found that black taxpayers are at least 3 times as likely to be audited by the Internal Revenue Service. The IRS doesn't collect data on race or ethnicity, and the report suggests that the disparity is attributed to discrimination in the IRS's computer algorithms that select returns for audit. The report also found that the IRS disproportionately audits people who claim the Earned Income Tax Credit. So, Commissioner, last time you were before this committee, you committed to providing a report on this issue within 60 days of your confirmation. That would be May 9th, so we're not there yet. I understand that. But with that commitment nearly 3 weeks away, what have you learned about the issue, and how is the IRS planning to address this inequity?
So I want to start with the important premise that it's essential that our tax system is fair. Fairness is what anchors our mission statement. And when I got the directive from this committee to issue a report in 60 days, I engaged with my team on day one to make sure it's a priority to fully understand what's going on with this report from Stanford and how do we get to the bottom of it and figure out what we need to do going ahead. I don't want to get ahead of the final report because it's not done yet. I will share that we are asking, I think, the right set of questions. We're asking questions like, what are the major tenets of IRS current corrective action plan to address improper payments? Do existing EITC case selection process unfairly raise audit rates for black taxpayers in relation to non-black taxpayers? There's about 6 or 7 key questions that we're answering.
Are you still committed to providing a written report to the committee by May 9th?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then finally, while we're on the topic of tax equity and tax administration, the IRS contracted with ID.me for verification services of this tax season, despite a track record of inequitable outcomes for minority taxpayers. When can we expect the IRS to use Logan.gov for verification services?
Yeah, and we are very interested in adding additional authenticating providers, and Login.gov is one that we're interested in. It's my understanding that they are working through at GSA some security issues that they want to make sure that they've wrapped up. Once those security issues are wrapped up, we will move forward with login.gov as a
I'd like you to
provider.
be able to give us a report when you see you're on your way to that.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.